Hello and welcome back to Glory Hounds. We will be continuing where we left off with the main story. So, if you recall, a while ago, the Duskhound and Dawnhound were able to defeat Camu, who was the what is the one with like the little eyes that are able to look like at different directions? He was stealing the dress that's made out of money, and Alex, I think, died, but then was able to come back because of some weird thing that is, I guess, watching the city. But yeah, the team was finally able to do something noteworthy, and then they went on hiatus. And then we ended up having the little two like little side issues. But now we're back. Yay. Anyways, so yeah, that's about it. One issue was about the Polly and the Barracuda trying to find a gift for the captain, which turned out to be Alex. Because I mean, of course. The previous one was about the Barracuda, I think? Or no, Alex's bike going missing, and then Raul like making a whole thing out of him, turning it into like a noir type of thing. But yeah. Anyways, so yeah. I guess without further ado, let us go into issue 4. The Thorn and Milo side. It's a story based, or not based, more revolving around him now. Issue 4, The Thorn and Milo side. Rah! Huh. The clatter of wooden swords rings through the dimly lit training hall. Sweat beads at my brow, but I pay it no heed and give my opponent a quarter. Gritting my teeth, I ready myself once again. He's going down this time. I see you are finally putting in effort. He too is starting to strain ever so slightly, breathing just a little bit harder. And yet, he still blocks every stroke and poke that I throw his way, as if it were mere child's play. Ha! I'm not giving up anytime soon, Milo. Good, because I was not planning on letting you rest yet. Finishing blow! I smacked the sword out of his hand with a large overhead swing, leaving him defenseless. Good work. Ha! I beat you. As soon as I aim the sword at him, he grips it by its wooden blade, yanking it from my hand before flipping it over and pointing it right at me. Not quite, Duskhound. A swipe of his legs under mine, and I'm on the floor. I stare up at the lights when the crow's silhouette comes into view. His smile betrays him. You will not defeat me like that, Duskhound. So close. I've been working with Raul and Milo for a couple of weeks now. It's only been a little while, but things have changed considerably, and to be honest, so have I. Mostly for the better. I don't think that I could have gotten any close to getting a good couple of hits in on Milo when I was just starting out. Still, some things never change. Okay, that was a dirty trick. You should never let your guard down. Yeah? Well, neither should. I kick at his legs. They don't give way. In fact, it just ends up hurting my ankle. Ow. You were saying? Nothing. And that is spirit. He flips the sword around, offering me the grip. I take it. It's warm and damp with sweat from how tightly I was gripping it. You are improving. Do you have to say it like that? All sarcastic? I'm not being sarcastic, Duskhound. It is truth. I get up and soothe my sore spots. Reaction time has improved considerably since initial training. When you get knocked down as much as I do on a daily basis, that's only natural. What is more, you actually landed several strikes today. I think you have earned praise and maybe some tea. Wait, we're taking a break? Did hell freeze over? No, I am simply thirsty. Plus, I have to prepare for event tomorrow. Event? Please change to civilian garb, then follow me to greenhouse. I will explain there. In all my weeks training with Milo and Raul at his mansion so far, this is the first time that I've been inside the greenhouse. I've only ever seen it from the outside, so I thought that it'd be as shabby as the rest of this place. Turns out it's anything but. Large plants, fruits, vegetables, and beautiful flowers in myriad colors stretch across its entire length, covering almost every inch of the place. All perfectly maintained, with not a single weed in sight. There is a bunch of very strong smells here. Sweet, bitter, and yet they're smells that all complement one another. Milo sets down a tea tray on a small glass table between us and sits down next to me. I take one of the porcelain teacups. It feels just as delicate and fragile in my hands as it looks. Which probably means Raul's never touched it before. So this is your usual hangout spot? I like quiet. Greenhouse is soundproof. Though I am known to listen to music. Really? Classical music? Jazz? Close, but no. You can tell me. I could, but it is more entertaining for you to keep guessing. Psst, okay. I look over at the rim of my cup. Did you grow all these yourself? Yes, I did. Even tea you are drinking comes from this greenhouse. No wonder he's so particular about it. It is the thing that I am most proud of in life. His voice sounds a lot warmer than usual, and for the first time ever, I see him lean back, take a deep breath, and relax. His feathers fluff up a bit as he settles into his seat. I'm surprised that you have the time for it, what with everything that you do for Raul and me. Gardening is a hobby I make time for. It offers peace of mind, allows thoughts to wander. I mulch down on the stroopelwaffle, my contribution to today's lunch. You must get tired sometimes. He doesn't chide me for speaking with my mouth full for once. Of course, but I cannot neglect greenhouse. Plants require constant care, otherwise they will not grow. They are much like you in that regard. Just as prone to bruising, I guess? Quite. Continue to hone skills and you will blossom. Never heard that comparison before. Does Raul ever help out here? He shakes his head. He has offered many times. However, only I am allowed near plants. They require a delicate touch. He lowers his voice. And Master Bavard is not exactly delicate. Not even he knows combinations of greenhouse lock. Not even Raul can get in? Not without me. It is a necessary precaution if I am to keep plants safe. You got a point there. I'd give him 5 minutes until he starts trying to kick in a window. There's so much glass here that I'm sure that he wouldn't be able to resist. We both stifle a chuckle. I hold out my pack of stroopelwaffles to Milo. Want one? No, thank you. Really? I haven't seen you eat since I got here. I shake my bag. They're fresh from the market, man. Come on. Surely you can handle some carbs. Delicacies are wasted on me. What do you mean? He's silent for a moment, rubbing his beak. I cannot taste. That is not what I was expecting to hear. I tilt my head as his gaze meets mine. I have not been able to for most of my life. Why? Milo turns away, eyes cast down at the floor. I lower the pack of stroopelwaffles. So, when you got that cocktail from Willem back at the Hain, you were... lying, yes. But what? I stop. I don't want to sound like a broken record. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have asked. No need to apologize, Duskhound. It is a normal question to ask. You probably wish to know what happened. I mean, only if you're comfortable. You are comfortable, right? He traces the scar on his eye with his finger, then nods gently. He takes a contemplative sip of his tea and clears his throat. When I was younger, I was operative, working for international organization. Operative? Like a spy? You could say that. I nurtured body, mind, and soul to one day help nurture Europa. That was thought behind my decision. It felt like a correct thing to do back then. Every day I would train. Every night I would dream about my purpose. He pauses. I have since lost many friends and comrades. I do not know where my family is or if any of them yet live. So your scars... 27 years ago, we were on a mission overseas. To this day, I do not know how, but Target discovered our location and struck. Explosion at base of operations heavily damaged the body, destroyed nerves, broken bones. Many of my comrades passed away that day. Doctors said that I was lucky to be living. For a moment, Milo just stares. His eyes widen slightly, and his beak parts before his chest swells with a deep breath. I disagreed at that moment. Only one eye is working. I cannot taste. Hearing has been impacted. You seem to have recovered pretty well. You're still kicking my butt in training. He gives me a hesitant smile that makes me a little uneasy. I have learned to live with or overcome most physical limitations. But there are things. He stops. I can hear his teacup rattle against the saucer for a brief moment before he takes another slow, deliberate breath. I start reaching out to him, but I pull my hand back again. I take a contemplative sip of tea. For what it's worth, I'm glad that you're still here. He nods his head slowly, but I don't get the impression that he heard what I said. He looks like he's miles away. I wish that I knew what to say. His eyes flick between myself and the teacup before settling on me. In my hospital room, there was little plant. Nurses had no time to water it while having to care for a wounded. It was wilting. At risk of sounding strange, I felt sorry for it. I was in agony, wishing for death to take me. Yet here was plant, clinging to life in spite of harsh climate and neglect. Once fractures had mostly healed, I took watering can and started watering plant every week. I removed dust and pests daily. I stayed in World of Living because I wanted it to live. I wanted to watch it grow. See what it would become. If I was not there, no one would take care of plant. I slowly nurtured plant back to health during the entirety of hospital stay. What happened to it in the end? He points to a little potted plant sitting on the table between us. All this time. I take a good look at the plant and find my thoughts wandering. Its broad, pointy leaves stick up proudly, like swords reaching for the sky. The pattern of dark green mixed with lime almost makes it look like it's snake skin. The plant's vibrant sheen is what really catches my eye. I know next to nothing about plants, but I can tell that this one has been nourished to perfection, despite signs of aging. I'm starting to understand why Milo does things the way that he does, just a little bit. I still water it once a week. It has grown strong over many years. You will too eventually. So when I say you are improving, I mean it. Thank you. He chuckles, Light returns to his eyes. Once you improve sloppy form. And that's why you're here. I suppose it is. And it means a lot to me. I can't imagine anyone that I'd rather get thrown or hit by. His hand, still lingering on the scar under his blind eye, trembles slightly. He exhales slowly once more before his working eye settles on me again. Now, it is my turn to ask you a question, yes? Ask away. How are you doing? I'm fine, really. I can tell you are not. I don't even know why I lie to him anymore. Just been thinking, about the night that we took down Camo. I mean, I freaking died, I think. I don't know. You got me wondering if it ever really happened. I cut myself off when I feel something warm press against the back of my hand on the table. Milo's own hand. I stopped shaking. I didn't even realize that I was shaking. As I said, injuries and trauma can affect the state of mind. But that is no reason to carry suffering alone. No matter what happened, Duskhound, we are here to support you. Myself and Dawnhound as well. It's nice to hear that coming from him. Thanks, Milo. I appreciate it. Do not mention it. No, really, I do. And thank you for telling me about... I gesture broadly in front of me, struggling to find the words. Everything. It must have been weighing pretty heavily on you. It is good to have listening ear. We share a smile in peaceful silence before he removes his hand and finally sips his tea. So, what was this event that you were talking about? There is a floral art competition in City Hall. Floral art? Like, flower arrangements? Indeed. I will be participating. That's awesome, Milo. Can I come? I'd love to cheer you on. That is... surprising, Alex. I did not take you for a flower enthusiast. I'll admit that I don't know the first thing about flowers, but it sounds interesting, and I've never seen a competition like that before. He thinks for a moment. I would very much enjoy your presence. Master Brevard will also be joining. It can be a little workouting. Nice break from getting tossed around the training room. You say that, but competition of this caliber is far more threatening than Camu or Saltwater's Syndicate. I will need to stay on toes if I wish to survive. We still talking about flowers, right? His feathers bristle, as if he's waiting for an enemy to strike. It is more than flowers. There is one rival in particular who will stop at nothing to ruin me. Eline. He spits that name like a curse. His claws tremble with fury as he brings his teacup to his beak. She has been at every competition that I have taken part in, and she has always emerged victorious. She must be pretty good if she can beat you. I have suspected foul play many times that we clashed on Floral Battlefield. But you haven't been able to prove it? He shakes his head. She is conniving, frightening. If you underestimate her, you are careless around her, she will take you down. I'm almost looking forward to meeting this lady just to see what her deal is. She will undoubtedly try to trick me during competition. I must be on my guard. Hey, we'll be there for you. I'm sure the three of us can keep an eye out. Are you going to be making the arrangements there? No, I have already prepared mine. Cool. Can I see? It is surprise, Duskhound. I have some final preparations to make before I am willing to display it. He narrows his eyes and finishes his cup. And I wish to be careful until judging. Elaine's spies could be anywhere. Surely you can trust me, at least. Right? Why are you so interested in my flowers? I do not figure you for gardening enthusiast. If there's anything that I've learned lately, it's that you're always full of surprises. You treat everything that you do with so much care, including training me. I suppress a scoff, realizing that the word care is doing a lot of heavy lifting in that particular context. I've never really met someone with so much passion and drive for what they do. I dare say that yours eclipses Raoul's, if that's even possible. Sometimes I wish that I felt something like that. Milo looks at me with a half-serious smile, and I almost feel like a kid again. You are funny. Very well. I will show you, but you must promise to keep it secret. Cross my heart. Good, because otherwise I would have to kill you. I force an awkward smile as I wait for his expression to change to one as well. Except it doesn't. He is joking, isn't he? Milo? Yes? You were joking about the killing part, I hope? Who can say? With that, he finally lets out a sound that makes me think that he is at least partially joking. He motions for me to follow him into a corner of the back of the greenhouse. I'm looking at a small fortified dome of sorts. I'd say that it was glass, but it's not translucent. Milo undoes some kind of intricate locking mechanism and deftly lifts the dome cover, revealing the arrangement underneath. What looks like smoke billows out from under the dome, and for a moment it feels like I'm sitting at some fancy restaurant. You are first person to see this dusk hound. I honestly couldn't tell you what most of these plants are. They look alien to me and arranged in a playful but meticulous way. I don't really know what I'm looking at. I don't recognize most of these flowers. Many are rare, not native to this land. And what are those? Ferns? Indeed, most plants you see here are older than time itself. His eyes fall upon something that's not actually a plant. It's a shiny piece of solid resin inside of a small log. It's been carefully carved into a heart shape. Is that amber? Good eye, yes. This piece of amber I acquired long ago. It looks very old. It dates from late Pleistocene epoch. You mean the Ice Age? Older still. I don't know much about prehistory. My expertise on all things dinosaur didn't last beyond my 18th birthday. I am not paleontologist either. However, Miss Fenna estimated that this to be at least 3 million years old. I thought Fenna did just art stuff. She has degree in number of fields. It was not ceremonious acquisition, but it intrigued me. Ah, I figured you'd be here. Raoul's voice sounds muffled from the other side of the greenhouse door. Ahem. May I enter, Milo? Milo hits a different button, and I hear a beep and a click. The boss himself enters, nose twitching. He stops to smell a flower on the way. While he's distracted, Milo re-engages the arrangement locking system. All ready for your big day, Milo? Almost. That's great news. Don't worry, I'm sure that you'll knock it out of the park. How was work, Raoul? Splendid. We currently are developing a new gardening tool. He clears his throat. I shouldn't say anything else. Brevard really does make everything, huh? Only because Master Brevard cannot sit still. He sees problem, he has to fix it. Like carpenter seeing everything as a nail to be hammered down. I have the means and the know-how. Nothing else to it. If I have the opportunity to improve anyone's life, I take it. I wish my boss back at Brevard had that worldview. I'm not sure that I ever apologized for all the things that happened to you while you were working for the company. But changes will be coming to the way that we treat our employees. I can assure you that much. I appreciate you looking into it. It needed to be done. How are you, Duskhound? Did your training go well? Oh, training was great, right, Milo? Oh, yes. I believe fundamentals have improved enough for more advanced team exercises. Team exercises? Like, you want us to beat you up at the same time? You can try. For today, however, Duskhound, you are dismissed. Shippersburg City Hall is probably one of the oldest buildings in town. Not that you'd be able to tell with how often it gets renovated. I wonder if any of the original structures is still there. Nevertheless, its age and rich history make it a prime spot for tourists to visit, though most of them only check out the admittedly very fancy lobby and call it a day. Interesting place to hold a competition like this, gotta admit. Didn't expect there to be this many people. Truthfully, it is more crowded than I anticipated. Might have to do with the mayor deciding to judge competition himself this year. I did notice a lot of flyers with the familiar reindeer's face on it, plastered around City Hall on the way here. He's been involved in a lot of events lately, hasn't he? Feels like I see him everywhere I go. Even Willem said that he came over for a bit during the anniversary party, while we were going after Camus. Wonder if it's for some election thing. Raymond, are you gonna be alright? I think so. Thankfully it is not too noisy in here. Just making sure. Don't worry. I brought some noise-canceling headphones if it gets a bit overwhelming. Besides, we're here on an important mission. And it's finally one that I don't have to suit up for. At least I hope so. If these past few weeks have taught me anything, it's that when Ral gets involved, anything can turn into an adventure. While I'm focused on Ral, Milo inspects the crowd with narrowed eyes. I do not see her here yet. Oh, the lady that you were talking about yesterday? Is she really that big of a deal? He mutters something in his mother tongue. What was that? Hellspawn. I take it that I was right on the money. I hardly ever see you this worked up over anything, Milo. You don't know who she is either? I've only ever heard the stories, quite frightening stories at that. She sounds like a force of nature. That is putting it mildly. I, for one, think having a rival to push you does wonders for your growth. She is not rival, she is nemesis. Judging by the tension in his shoulders, he is about to reveal some stuff that would make Max look normal. Well, hello, sir. You're a participant in today's competition, aren't you? I saw you registering at the desk over there. Oh no, I know that voice. I know that intonation, as if there's an active audience listening. I know who's asking before we even turn around, and immediately I feel compelled to duck behind my boss. The crow stares at me quizzically before turning his attention to the lamprey, who shoves a little tape recorder under his beak. I am not participating, I am winning. But yes. Good golly, we have a participant with a real competitive streak here today, folks. He pulls out a little notepad. It's got enough scribbles and drawings to make Raoul jealous. I'm with the Shippersburg Sailor. Is it okay if I ask you a few questions about? As he looks up from his notepad, we lock eyes. His slack-jawed stare lingers for a few moments, then turns to the closest approximation of a grin a lamprey can muster, which mainly involves rows upon rows of teeth, each sharper than the last. It's a little scary when you aren't expecting it, I'll be honest. Alex, is that you? You are acquainted? Milo and Raoul step aside, leaving me in an awkward hunched-over position. I give him a pleading look, but he just folds his arms and smiles. You, could say that? Aw, don't be shy. We used to date in college. I feel my face getting red hot. Figures that we'd run into Emiel here, of all places. Guess it helps our breakup was amicable back in the day, but yeah, it's still awkward. How's life been? We haven't spoken in 6 years and about 145 days, but who's keeping track? I tilt my head and he laughs. I'm kidding. I've been doing great. I got my degree, got a job, and you know. He mimes climbing a ladder. Journalism, right? And look where it got me. City Hall, baby. He thrusts a press lanyard at me, The front-facing picture looks a little out of focus, like he couldn't sit still when it was being taken. Sure, today I might be reporting on, was it a knitting competition? A floral art competition. No, I'm pretty sure it's knitting. It's in my notes. He rapidly flips through his notebook, tilts his head, and then shrugs. Can we just pretend it's about knitting? It's what I prepared for. I don't think that's gonna work, Emiel. Fine, I'll adjust. He makes it sound like a deflating balloon. Where was I? Oh, right. Today I might be reporting on a floral art competition. But I'll be a crime reporter before you know it. Book deals, here I come. You rehearsed that speech, didn't you? You know it. Emiel hasn't changed one bit. Even back in college, he was always this peppy and excited about everything. Always off chasing his dreams. Didn't matter if they were realistic or not. He was always giving 100%. That same excitement led to the occasional accident in the bedroom. Teeth like that are a safety hazard even with the best of intentions. Wasn't that the reason that we broke up? I can't really remember. What about you, Alex? Did you ever go back, to get your degree? Nope, I work for these guys now. I just to Raoul and Milo. What do you do? Well, it's, a little complicated. Oh, I know. It's written plainly on your face. You're an apprentice knitter, here to learn from the master. I hear the loudest snort that I've ever heard Milo make. Gardener. And no, Alex most certainly lacks any talent for gardening. Hey! Emiel looks at me with his notebook in hand, almost as if he's moving on to interview me instead. Well, it's not exactly cleaning, but it's sort of close. If cleaning up the city of criminals is even a remotely decent metaphor. After all this time, we never actually went over a proper cover story for my new career. I shoot a quick look at Milo, but for once it's Raoul who steps up behind us and answers. Alex is my personal assistant. Not exactly a lie, at least. The name's Raymond. I'm a tinkerer of sorts. I like building things that make daily life more convenient. A bona fide inventor, you say? Essentially, yes. Though it's less glamorous than that, and more about... So you could invent a giant death ray, for example? How would that make anyone's life more convenient? Well, no, that's not really... Or something really practical like a robot that makes soup. What I wouldn't give for someone to invent a robot that can make soup for me. Actually, that's one on my list of projects to complete, just as soon as I work out a few small kinks. Carpet. Stains. 3 weeks. It was a minor setback, Milo. Version 2.0 will work, I guarantee it. With Alex by my side, it's sure to be a success. I know what they're talking about, and even I'm starting to lose track of this interaction. I almost feel sorry for Emiel. He must be so confused right now. Yeah, I think I have the full picture now. You do? Because I'm entirely lost as to what this conversation is even about anymore. There is no need to be ashamed, Alex. Professional carpet cleaning is a very respectable profession. Why does everyone feel that need to lecture me on the respectable professions? It just seems a little out of your wheelhouse. How so? Well, considering how messy your room always was. I was not, and I'm still not a professional cleaner, okay? I'm just Raymond's assistant. I did always figure you to be more like the tinkering type anyway. And he's more than capable enough. I wouldn't be here today without him. Clearly he's in good hands. I do wonder though, what is an inventor like yourself doing at, floral art? The lamprey shoots an insecure look towards Milo, who is clearly suppressing a sigh. Floral art. A floral art competition? As it so happens, we are merely here to support our good friend Milo for the competition. And perhaps get some ideas for a new gardening tool or two. How about a robot vacuum cleaner that you just put in the room and it does all the work for you? Doesn't Brevard Industries make several different models already? I know, but bigger. See, the small one always takes forever, and they can't get into all the little nooks and crannies. Imagine if it worked like a tornado, but in reverse. That does sound like it might have potential. I can almost feel the heat of Milo's glare. Do not even think about it. Oh, don't be like that, Milo. All we need to do is take a few precautions and nothing can go wrong. I am not cleaning up resulting debris and shrapnel. A friend of mine was working on one actually. She invited me to report on the test run and everything. Was? You mean it's completed? Did it work? Not exactly. Did something happen to the invention? Oh no, the invention has been decommissioned, for now. Then, your friend, is she okay? Suddenly, Raoul doesn't seem as eager about the idea of a tornado vacuum anymore. Well, she's still incapacitated, but I'll have to ask about how it's coming along once she can use her arms again. Raoul and I exchange a worried look. Oh, it didn't explode or anything. There was simply one minor technical issue. In addition to the dust, the vacuum would suck up other stuff in the room too. I mean, one would think that much was obvious. And the motor was a little more powerful than expected. A little? It'd need to be an industrial motor to cause any real havoc. Someone speaking from experience. It wasn't a problem at first, until the knives started flying. Perhaps the kitchen wasn't the best place to test it after all. Suddenly, I'm wondering if there are any inventors among Max's many siblings. I shudder at the mere possibility. Maybe you can help my friend finish her invention? I'm sure that she could use the assistance with what, He makes a wobbly gesture with his arms. Thanks, but I think I appreciate the relative safety of my current gig. Emphasis on relative. Well, look who it is. Oi, Al. And Ray, too. Oh, thank heavens, a savior. Well, what a nice surprise. What are you doing at City Hall, Willem? Right back at you. Didn't have you pegged as a big fans of the flower arrangements. Oh, I'm here for Milo. He's participating, so I thought that I'd come along. What about you? Doing the catering? What? You really think that they'd bring me on for a fancy pants thing like this? Nah, just watching my grandniece for the day. She really wanted to come here for the event. Should be easy for someone like you. You think so, but she's a bloody handful, that one. I can wrangle a bar full of drunks, folks, alright. But she can run circles around me. Oh, that's nice. Where is she right now? He points his thumb at a little girl behind us with bright yellow feathers carrying a basket about as big as she is, similar to the one Milo was carrying. She's talking to Emiel, but he has to kneel to even let her talk into the little tape recorder. I can only catch bits and pieces of their conversation, every sentence punctuated by one of Emiel's wild gestures. Wait, she's participating? Can you believe it? I can't really. She's so tiny. Don't competitions like this have an age requirement? I'm also worried about this nemesis of Milo's. With people like that around, it doesn't seem like a very child-friendly competition. Usually her parents take her here, but they're on the other side of the country right now. Apparently she's been doing this for about 3 years now. How old is she now? 9. 9? The little girl's head snaps in our direction mid-sentence. And a half. 9.5. Apologies. Come on over here, won't you? Got someone that I'd love you to meet. She waves Emiel off and then skips on over. This here is a friend of mine. One of my regulars, actually. His name's Alex. Alex, Ray, this is Eline. Awfully nice to meet you, sir. Aw, nice to meet you. Did you say Elaine? That's me. I guess Mr. Milo must have told you all about me. I exchange glances with Raoul, and if only one thing is clear, it's that we're both very confused. Yeah, he did. I think. Wasn't expecting you to be, well, what I mean is to say is, you weren't expecting me to be a little kid? I look at the ground. Yeah. Well, I'm not just a little kid. I've won this contest 3 years in a row, and I've got the trophies to prove it. Mr. Milo's just grouchy because he always gets second place. I only get second place because you choose to lie and deceive, Eline. Ugh! Can you please stop doing that? Lie and deceive? What's that mean? Milo narrows his eyes at me. I should have known that she would dig her claws in as soon as I let the both of you out of my sight. You didn't tell me that you were beefing with a 9-year-old. She is no ordinary 9-year-old. She looks pretty ordinary to me. I have no idea what you're talking about, Mr. Milo. She bats her eyelashes. You can fool them, Eline, but you will not fool me. I know full well what happened last year. You losing? I remember that too. Now, let's not get ahead of ourselves, people. The competition hasn't even started yet. A large reindeer in a pair of overalls waltzes on over with a laugh. Mayor Bauer, it is a pleasure to see you again. The feeling is mutual, Mr. Drozdov. It's lovely to see you return as well, Miss Eline. I'm glad the top 2 from last year could make it. You really took us by surprise last time. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm still a bit sad all the other contestants ended up dropping out. As am I. But truth be told, you really earned that trophy fair and square. I spot Milo making a face. I'd laugh, but he'd make me regret it in training later, so I stifle it the best that I can. I see the two of you have brought some moral support. I recognize Willem, but I'm afraid that I haven't had the pleasure of meeting the two of you lovely people yet. He gives us an expectant look that makes way for quizzical stares as he stares us up and down. Say, don't I know the two of you from somewhere? The news item, maybe. It's on the tip of my tongue. Oh, no. We're just regular people, aren't we, Raymond? Haha. You're right, we are, Alex. Just friends of Milo's, here to support him. Ah, of course. Well, I'd like to welcome you to City Hall all the same. Thanks. Don't mention it. He grins at me. His teeth are so sparkly white that it's almost scary. I know that look in your eyes, boy. You do? It must come as a surprise to you that an event like this is being personally overseen by the mayor. Yeah, kinda. Especially with so many goings-on in the city. It is my job to represent each and every citizen of Shippersburg. An event like this might seem like a relatively small affair, but it plays a vital role in bringing people together. Connection, my boy. I believe that it is the best way forward for our fair city. And you simply can't achieve that cooped up in an office. That's what I always say too. Truly, well, it's a great aim. In practice, it gets a little difficult. I have to be a man of many hats, as it were. Oh, Mayor. What is it, my girl? I had a question. Uncle Willem said that you have a really pretty painting here. Could you show me? I'd be happy to. He tips his head to us. If you'll excuse me, I'm looking forward to seeing your entry, Milo. Milo narrows his eyes. You will be amazed. I bet I will. See you at the competition. They walk off, Willem following behind. Emiel, who's been running around unsuccessfully trying to get an interview with participants, dashes back over to us. The mayor's gone. I still had a couple of questions that I wanted to ask. I'm sure that he'll be around later. He groans. At this rate, this piece will be page 7 material. Is that a bad thing? Page 7 is where journalism goes to die. I'm looking for a front page shoo-in. Maybe you should write about the Glory Hounds. I hear that they're pretty popular. Raoul puffs off his chest as he says it. Who? The Glory Hound. I could hear you perfectly fine. I'm just not interested. They stopped the Saltwater Syndicate. Saved the Money Talks gown. Yeah, last month. I need current news, is all I'm saying. Something exciting, something... He is cut off by the fire alarm, and his following words are drowned out by shouts and screams from the crowd around us. At Long last, I've succeeded in getting those vexatious vermin out of my feathers. Phase 1 of today's plan has been a resounding success. That fire alarm ought to keep them occupied for a considerable length of time. Enough to enact my plan, anyway. Hee, splendid. Now to seize the moment and claim my victory over that rube once more. No one would ever suspect little Eline of causing irreparable damage to those unfortunate little weeds. Nor would they ever discover that she used untraceable industrial-grade herbicide to do the job with. Oh, I can't wait to see the look on that old crow's face when he comes in dead last. Mwahahaha. Now to find Milo's entry. Ah, there it is. I find myself rather uninspired looking at this piece. Perhaps foul play won't be necessary, and I can win by my own merit? As if. Goodbye, Mr. Draws. What in the heavens is going on? It's growing? You have awoken us. Ah! Rao, Milo, and I run to the source of the alarm as fast as we can, Emiel in tow. I try to tell him to get somewhere safe, but there was no way that he was going to miss out on this big scoop. Along the way, I yank one of the fire extinguishers off the wall. If there is one upside to all of this, it's that I can tell that I have more stamina than I did a month ago. Here's to no longer getting winded after running for 10 seconds. It's here, right? Correct. We have arrived at source of alarm. Strange. I don't see any fire. Maybe it's somewhere that we can't see? There would be signs. He's right. I don't smell any smoke either. Do you think that someone pulled the alarm by accident? Not by accident. He tips his beak to a red handle at a wall. There are shards of broken glass on the floor, probably from the sheet that had been protecting it. Judging by amount of shards, this was done with considerable force. Most likely prank. Or... His eyes widen. Eline. She must have tried to get people away from the judging room. You really think that a 9-year-old could have done all of this? I would not put it past her. And you would be wise not to underestimate her. So there isn't a fire after all. He slouches, his tone sounds almost disappointed. It doesn't seem like... He's interrupted by a loud crash coming from behind us. I prick up my ears, picking up a creaking noise that seems to draw closer and closer. Watch out! Green appendages wind around the corner of the hallway, flowers and what looks like sharp thorns bursting from every area that they touch. One of the vines is headed right for Emiel, and before anyone else can act or even move a muscle, Milo shoves him out of the way. The lamprey falls to the ground, just as a thorny vine spears itself into the wall at the end of the hall. Anyone mind telling me what the heck just happened? I don't know. Milo, plants aren't supposed to be doing this, are they? Milo doesn't respond, not immediately. His beak is clenched shut, his gaze distant. I watch the crow pull a flower from one of them, inspecting it closely. Most certainly not. Something's afoot. Or should I say, a root? I bury my face in my paws. Not in the mood for puns, I suppose. Another crash rings throughout the hallway, and more vines slither out from behind the corner, hurtling at us at breakneck speeds. And neither are they. In here. Milo yanks me into what appears to be a dark broom closet, Rao and Emiel diving it right behind us before he shuts the door, and we hear the sound of vines breaking the wall once more. I'll keep the jokes to myself next time. I thought this was a floral art thing, not a killer plant thing. Trouble really does seem to follow you wherever you go, huh, Alex? It really is just like college. Yeah, well, the trouble that I got up to in college didn't involve almost getting impaled by thorns and vines. The door rattles at what I can only assume are more vines bashing it. Without any hesitation, Milo takes one of the mops, sitting against the wall, and barricades it. We're not getting out of here anytime soon, are we? If we want to, we need to come up with a plan. Considering the damage it did to wall, I estimate a single swipe of vine would be enough to break bones. Moreover, I am concerned. Even in the darkness, I can tell that he's holding up the flower he plucked from the vine. This is for my piece. I saw your piece this morning, and it was definitely not sprouting tentacles or trying to maim us. Correct. That means somebody tampered with it. This is one thing that I cannot see Eline achieve. So the source is wherever the piece was being stored for judging? If we're holed up here, I can only imagine the dangers everyone else in the building must be facing right about now. Luckily, I came prepared. You brought our gear? He holds up a suitcase. Always have it on me in case of an emergency. I should have known. Don't worry, Milo. We'll get to the root of the issue. Get it? Root? Is he always like this? Let's just get the damn costumes on. Costumes? It's a long story. Ah, that's better. I could do without getting changed in a dark room that has my ex in it and is currently being assaulted by plants bit. Variety is the spice of life, Spot. Yeah, well, this is too spicy for me. The room we have to reach is on other side of building. We will have to be quick and rescue civilians en route. Wait a minute, we? You joining us, Milo? I am partly responsible for a situation. You came here to support me. I will bear responsibility. I hear the clang of metal, and as Milo kicks the door open, I catch a glimpse of him holding a pair of gardening shears that I noticed sitting against the wall earlier. It is time to prune garden. And what about me? I step out into the light with Milo. You should probably stay here, where it's safe. And miss out on the scoop of a lifetime? No chance. He stops mid-sentence, tilting his head. What are you even... Hold up. You're the Glory Hounds? That's what this whole costume thing was about? I'll tell you when we get back, okay? And miss out on the scoop of the century? No way, Jose. Emil, listen to me. This is going to get very dangerous. You could get hurt or worse. Please listen to your friend, Emil. It is for your own safety. But... Okay, I'll cut you a deal. A deal? You get your ass to safety, and in return, you get an exclusive interview with the illustrious Glory Hounds about what happened here today. How's that? The lamprey perks up suddenly. Exclusive, you say? I nudge Raoul with my elbow. Yeah, exclusive. You have our word, literally and figuratively. Emiel considers that for a moment, unaware that he's costing us precious seconds. Okay, fine. We have ourselves a deal then. Then get yourself to safety, civilian, now. Yes, sir. He runs off while letting out a loud yee-haw. Are we done wasting time? Raoul and I nod. Then let's go. Whatever caused this, it's completely taken over City Hall. The former pristine hallways now resemble what I can only describe as rugged jungle. Several doors are barred by vines and growths, windows smashed by thick tree trunks jutting out of them. Have to be careful where I walk just to avoid tripping over bushes and stepping on thorns. The grass in here comes up to my waist. At least there's no sign of the vines that attacked us yet. Milo walks up front, snipping anything that blocks our path with the shears. Almost feels like we're on some expedition. This place got quite the makeover. If the situation weren't so dire, I'd almost call it beautiful. I swat a branch out of the way. It swings back and thwomps me in the nose. Ow! You, Definitely don't see this every day, that's for sure. At least, we haven't run into any more plants trying to kill us. That's a plus. I've seen no sign of anyone else so far. Here's hoping that they all evacuated when the fire alarm was pulled. Fingers crossed. Milo gestures for us to stop. What's wrong? Listen. Those are footsteps? Might be other survivors. Please don't start using the word survivors. Hello? Anyone there? We're coming to rescue you! Milo hushes Raoul. What are you doing? They need to know that they're safe, Milo. We cannot rule out the possibility of enemy presence. The footsteps stop. I think that they heard us. I hear the creaking groans of wood before what looks like a person emerges from the shrubbery. Only it isn't a person. More like a monster, with skin made of bark and leaves sticking out of an earthen torso. It's unlike anything that I've seen before, and it seems to regard us the same way that once it notices us coming in our direction. Raoul steps forward next to Milo, who's already got his gardening shears at the ready, and raises a hand. We mean you no harm. It tilts its head. More of you. As it moves towards us, vines begin to sprout from its arms. They move like thorny tendrils, lashing at their surroundings. One smashes a potted cactus, which immediately seems to merge with its pointy flail. Cease hostilities at once. You wish to stand in our way? Hey, stop, don't! Out of nowhere, the tendril extends hard and fast. It nearly spears Raoul, but Milo pushes him out of the way at the last moment, lunging for the creature with gardening shears. He snips the tendrils off at the base, then kicks the monster-looking thing down. I watch the vines writhe on the floor before it lies still. Give it to me. I throw the vine over to him, careful not to prick myself, and he gets to work tying the creature up. It seems to be unconscious for now. Unconscious? What the heck is it? Some sort of unknown plant-based life form, it would seem. And it's hostile. He shakes his head. The situation just got a lot more complicated. And scarier. The hell could have happened to Milo's piece to create freaking plant zombies? Raoul? We will settle hows and whys after situation is dealt with. Do you think that there's more out there? There are bound to be. We must hurry. Lives are in danger. Get to safety, Emiel. It's too dangerous. Ha. I mean, they've got a point, but still. I mean, it's just plants. Plants aren't that scary, are they? Unless it's carnivorous ones. Like the ones from the one movie. I should get out of there. No famous journalist got anywhere just waiting around in the dark. I can see the headlines now. Pristine place pounded by pointy plants. City Hall in ruins. Yes. They'll have to promote me to the crime department after this. And that's where I'm going to leave it for today. So we got a little bit of backstory on Milo. We now know that he used to be an international super spy agent person, but unfortunately after an explosion, he lost the ability to taste and he lost vision in one eye, essentially taking him out of commission. Throughout that time, he decided to pick up the hobby of, I guess, gardening, and that sort of helped to rehabilitate him, which is why he takes over the, I guess, what is it called? The greenery? You know what I mean. Well, yeah, he was gonna enter the competition, and his nemesis, who turned out to be a 9-year-old related to Willem, decided to ruin everything. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that it's not just her, though, because, I mean, you know, Anywho, but yeah. So we also got to meet one of Alex's other exes, and apparently has a lot of them. Or at least a good amount of them. Who is a journalist now, and is trying to get the big scoop. And I'm pretty sure that, having just found out that his ex and his ex's boss are heroes, qualifies as a scoop. Whether or not he's going to tell anyone, it's yet to be seen. Anywho, so what else? What else? There's also the plant monsters. Can't overlook that. I wonder what that's about. Anyway, so what do you think so far of the story? Or I guess you could say issue 4, Write it down in the comments, and thank you all for watching/listening. If you would like to play Glory Hounds yourself, you can do so by going down to the link in the description, which should have a direct link for the itch.io page where you can download the game and play it yourself. And if you would like to support the Echo Project, which, is making these visual novels, you can do so by going down to the other link in the description for their Patreon, where you can subscribe and get early access to builds of, Glory Hounds, Hemia, and what is the other one? I already forget how to pronounce that one. Interia, or whatever it is. You know which one I'm talking about. They're all Astro related. But yeah, so, all those links will be down in the description, as well as my channel member link, in case you want to become a channel member and watch these videos as they're being scheduled. So, you get to watch them before everyone else does, and sometimes you get even to watch, special videos, There is at least one there. Actually, there should be like 2 at least. 3? I think there's 3. I don't know. Anyways, but yeah, so I guess that's it for now, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.